Hey, well, tonight I'm angry at passive younger people, and I'm looking at the Georgia Senate races that were held today. And this is the information that I see from a website called Georgia Votes. This is from earlier today, and if you look at this, you can see voters by age. You can see that the votes cast by those between 18 and 30 was 12%. 30 to 40, 11%, 40 to 50, 15%. But what I want to point out to you is that those aged 50 or older are responsible for 61% of the votes. Now, you may think that the number of people aged 50 or older in Georgia may be close to 60%. It is not. This is the most recent data I can find on age demographics in Georgia. And you can see that the number of people who are over 50 years old is approximately 17% plus 13%, which is 30%, plus about another 5% for those between 50 and 55. So you're looking at about 35% of the population. In other words, 35% of the population is turning out at twice the rate of the majority of the population, and because of that, they are determining the winner of this race. Now, I am not talking about whether the Democrats or the Republicans should be winning this race. I'm talking about the fact that the people who are deciding who is going to win this race are old people, elderly people, people over 50 years old. Why? Why is the next generation so passive? Why are they not voting? Is it because the elderly are so focused on protecting their benefits, on voting for people who are going to continue benefits to the elderly, whether it's Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, or any other of the interests that the elderly have? They have interests. They vote their interests. Why is the younger generation not protecting their interests? They have sat by passively while the previous generation has incurred enormous debts for money that the younger generation really has not received. The younger generation has very little savings. They have huge college debts that they aren't even able to eliminate in bankruptcy. They are on the hook for all the debts that we've incurred up to date, which is close to $30 trillion as of today, not even counting all the promises that have been made for future payments. Why are the younger people not more engaged? Why is 2/3 of the population allowing 1/3 of the population to make the decision as to who the Georgia senators will be? Who will control the U.S. Senate? Who will control the U.S. federal government? You would think that the votes of the people under 50, which comprise 2/3 of the population, could at least equal the votes of the 1/3 of the population of the elderly over 50. They're not. The votes of those under 50 is half of those over 50, and those over 50 are therefore determining what is going to happen to the future of this country. Why is that? Don't young people realize how badly they've been treated? Don't they realize that their financial standing is so much worse than all generations that have come before them? Don't they realize that they're the first generation in a long time to not see an increase in their standard of living? They are now looking at a lower standard of living than their parents, and even worse, a lower life expectancy. This is probably one of the most important elections of my lifetime. If the Democrats control both the presidency and the Senate, the Democrats are going to have pretty much free reign to do as they wish, especially since they are in control of the House. The carefree manner in which the federal government spends money, you would think would cause the younger generation great concern. After all, they are the ones whose standard of living is going to be reduced in order to repay all these loans. They don't seem to care. They have not showed up to vote in Georgia. I don't know if this is a greater or lesser turnout than you would expect, but the fact is that those over 50 are determining the future of this country. And if you're a younger person, by that I mean those under 50, you comprise 2/3 of the population in Georgia. You are standing by mutely while the old generation decides what happens in your state and in your country. I blame you. You are the ones who have the most to lose. You are the ones who should be standing up for what is right. You should be standing up to protect yourselves. You're absent. I can't understand why. Please let's wake up.